Matchday Show, the world's one and only unique live phone-in show for Rangers supporters all over the world. Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Good evening, welcome back to Rangers Radio. Rangers 2, Panathinaikos 0 on the first game of the 2025-2026 season. Russell Martin gets his era off to a winning start at Ibrox. I think Ox is currently having some technical issues, so you've got myself at the moment. I'll give you my view, just while we wait on Ox, trying to get sorted. A tale of two halves again, I think that would be fair to say. First half started off pretty reasonably well. First 10 minutes, you can see the idea between the team. And then obviously Panathinaikos grew into the game. Opened us up quite a few times. Again, we'll just wait on Ox to get sorted. We'll discuss key points and talking points within the game itself. But for me, a tale of two halves. But if you took that at the start of the game, 2-0, and if you listened earlier on, James in Tennessee, well done. You predicted not only a 2-0 victory, but a Finlay Curtis goal. So James, if you're listening, come in and give us your thoughts on your well done prediction. I think we've been joined by Fox just now.
What did you think of the start of the game? A wee bit iffy. Started well enough for the first 5 minutes, and then we kind of misplaced a lot of passes and lost possession quite a lot, Robert, eh?
It was clear Ox to myself. I actually started taking notes down during the game, taking a pick up and analyse the game. And the first thing I did write down was a few slack passes. What I did notice, Fox, I don't know if it was yourself as well, noticed that the passes weren't really with purpose. They were more outside of the foot touches, trying to play neat football rather than a precise, purposeful pass into feet. And a lot of the times, by the time they received the ball, the Panathinaikos player was on their back. They're facing their own goal and we get dispossessed a few times. I don't know if you've picked up on that passing as well.
I thought myself personally that I thought they stuck to the regime of passing, and sometimes they were placing the ball where they thought somebody should be rather than seeing the man. We'd done a lot of passes where we had control on the outside of the park and then clipped it into the middle to a pass that was misplaced, but it wasn't directly to the player who the other player thought was passing it to, if that makes any sense. Anyway, we kept losing possession like that. We were being counter-attacked, and I thought at first we were definitely going to lose a goal.
Yeah, you're right, mate. I think the first point it comes from was the set piece, the free kick that they had out in the far left of our left-hand side. The ball comes in the top, comes across, cleared away, and Jack Butland makes a terrific save. And I've got to be honest, I think the boys got to score. Palesteri from a Man United player. That should have been ripped on the net, and we should have been 1-0 down, if I'm being honest.
Got a bit of luck there, Robert. Got a bit of luck there. Thanks for that, mate. I don't know what happened there, but thanks for that. Listen, it was a game of moments, game of periods, and you're right, mate. In that middle part of that first half, we rode our luck a bit, mate. Yeah,
we did. as you say, make key points, more so in the second half, but the first half in particular, there was key points where we did look a bit vulnerable at the back. I don't know if that's the best word to use, but the big man in goal, Jack Butland, stepped up and kept us in it at that point, which maybe a surprise.
I'll tell you, I saw it. The game was in moments, yeah. We started the game reasonably well, the first maybe up to 10 minutes. I thought, we're doing okay. The inverted fullbacks, only time will tell me. But however, there was a moment Raskin had the ball on the left-hand side. He should have passed it to Curtis. He misplaced his pass. It was the first time for Nico in the first half. He gets booked. Then they have the free kick. And for the next 20 minutes, mate, we were all over the place. And it was usually for headers, for passes. The manager was saying we were being brave. Some of it was just poor play, mate. But put that down to the time of the season. So we then really struggled between that moment that you talked about when they should have scored and the next 20 minutes, mate. Yeah?
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. I just said to Oxel, I don't know if you found it with the passes. They didn't seem very purposeful passes. It was like the neat touch with the outside of the foot rather than putting a bit of power and weight behind it, which got us caught in possession a few times. Athens in particular in the centre circle with that inverted fullback.
I don't want to throw the boy under the bus, but over the piece tonight, he was poor. Yeah, he looked as if he was playing the right side of the park. He kept chucking on his right foot, which brought him inside, which was fine, but he didn't have a good game. But you're going to get these teething problems, and let's critique the boy on the game tonight. We don't know how it's going to pan out from. He gave the ball away, particularly in the first half. Suter gave the ball away, and then the centre half, Digger made a howler error, mate, and they were all self-inflicted, mate. There wasn't coming for great play for them. It was self-inflicted.
No, you're right, and it sounds like it's the same problems. And I don't want to be obviously down about it. It's the first game we've got to win, but you can still see that there are still errors caused by our own downfall at times, which we were very fortunate at times to get away with.
Yeah. So the game, we had a chance. Danilo had I don't think he had a great game, but I will say this, he had absolutely nice service, particularly in the first half. When he did get a bit of service, he hit one that was getting in and deflected wide, and that was my best moment in the first half, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty much isolated up there, Ox. Again, the service wasn't coming to him because it was all kind of in the middle of the park, and he's trying to move about for movement. But it just wasn't coming to him. The shot he does get, he hits it sweet, and it's a good block by a defender. But if that's defender's not there, it's on target. It's troubling the goalkeeper. The only other bit I can remember that he was involved in was the layoff to Diamande towards the end of the first half, which again was probably our only kind of chance in that first half.
I think that was one for the cameras. I don't know what their goalie was at that moment. Yeah.
He was trying a Kamara, I think, Diamande against Leipzig.
Aye, Kamara.
Pretty much same thing, yeah.
There should be a blue plaque there where that one was kicked for me. That was a brilliant moment, wasn't it?
Oh, assisted by yours favourite, Scott Wright.
Oh, I know, mate. We'll never forget Scott. We'll never forget Scott. Listen, fair play to James for Tennessee. 2-0 with Curtis to score.
Yep, I gave him a shout out at the start, mate. I did say, well done, James, if you're listening. Well, he's got 1, Southside Super 6 got 0, so we're off to a great start for the season.
Aye. But so we get into half time, and I'll be honest, I was maybe looking for a couple of changes, and maybe one of the changes might have been Berjami for Curtis, mate. If I've been honest, what do I know?
I think you're right. There probably maybe could have been a change. And to be fair to any of the front three, it could have been any one. If I was being honest, I know Dewell put a bit of a shift in, kind of going backwards. Curtis, I thought was
visible man for me, mate. Visible man.
Was a bit quiet again. Curtis,
and also had a moment to make it 3, mate. Yeah,
he did. It was a great chance. The header.
he's got everything. He's got the height on the ball. He's got the run on the ball. Yeah. Ultimately, never hit the target, mate.
No, they didn't come kind of proven telling in the end. But again, that's another a chance where if you make it 3-0, it's another comfortable.
We get in nothing each at half time, mate. Yeah. And I was thinking there's going to be changes, so there was no changes, and then there was a big moment, mate. I mean, our centre half made an absolute Roger at it, yeah.
Yep.
And they should have scored. They never, and we basically went right up the park and got the goal, yeah.
It was quick thinking for Butland to roll it out. I think he gave it out to Athens, and then he plays it up to Curtis, who his first touch takes him right inside where he wants to come in on his right foot. And again, he's got the belief and the confidence to drive in. And although the shot takes a slight nick off the player, he's got the confidence to hit it. And we spoke about it at the start of the game. He's put in the effort during pre-season. He's been rewarded by a start, and he got a goal. And he certainly soaked it up with his celebrations. You could see how much it meant to him, and the players reacted to that as well. So fair play to the boy. Congratulations on getting his goal. And I think that kind of set the tone, and obviously it leads into his next
he
involvement.
deserves it, the boy. He deserved it, the boy, you know, for his attitude and that he's shown us what he's got. Is he a winger? I don't know, but I hope he finds his position and he develops, and I wish him all the best. You know, if he never kicks a football again, mate, he'll have that moment for the rest of his life. I'm not saying he won't. I'm just saying, fair play to him, mate. Yeah, he's lived the dream, eh?
Yeah, yes, he's a local lad, boyhood fan.
You know,
Scoring
so
a goal
we got a bit of luck, mate. We had the deflection, and then we descended off, and I've no sympathy with the guy. I didn't think it was much of a foul, second yellow. I'm aware that he actually gets sent off for diving, mate. If only dived in the first half, so I've no sympathy, mate. Yeah.
Oh, it was a shocker. The first one, his first yellow was an absolute shocker. But again, he's gave the referee a decision. He's already on a yellow card. And in those days, especially in the European game, you're not going to get away with him. So he's got his marching orders, which again changed the game, I think.
I thought the ref got most things right tonight. You know, just just before half time, he could have booked one of their players for a pullback. That would been it. Maybe the odd time when he was in the our left hand side, mate, he could argue he was getting in the way, but apart from that, he got the big calls right. So we get the goal, as you said, for Finlay Curtis, and they get the sending off. And after that, mate, it was pretty much, we were dominant. We passed the ball well. The centre halves had pushed up to, what do you think, 30 yards for goal? Yeah,
Aye, pretty much. Aye, shooting distance.
You know, and then the best moment of the match, the move for the second goal, mate, the whole move.
It does. And strangely enough, you mentioned Aaron's earlier on. It starts with him in that corner. He gets out of it, plays it in the line to Agaman, drops it inside to Diamande, who then releases Gassama, and he's only got one thought in his mind. And if that's something he's going to show in to us week in, week out, I'm excited about that, Ox. That's a player there that's got a bit of belief and confidence again. And the shot, I don't know if you've seen it, he kind of opens up to hit it in the far corner and just closes his foot and reverses it to the near post. It's a good finish.
Because the goalies start moving, and I know sometimes goalkeepers can look, you know, you get caught, but once you start moving, it's difficult to get back, mate. So he's done them.
Aye, he's put his head up and seen the keeper moving and anticipating he's going to go that way. And as I said, he's reversed it into the corner.
That's a popular way to go, isn't it?
Aye. He's read it well. Good finish.
Yeah. So that curler to the other side of the goal, so he does it. Great moment.
Dodgy celebration. I thought he was going to injure his knee when he slid.
Oh, mate, that would have been just their luck.
I know.
I'll tell you now, if I was the manager of a professional team, there'd be no sliding when you score a goal, mate.
No. You'd be doing your cartwheels.
No. A double flip, maybe build a pyramid or something like that, but don't do that, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a risky one with your knee in the ground, innit?
Aye. So anyway, 2-0, mate. For that period, just that wee period, I was maybe disappointed we never got the third. I'd have snapped your hand off for that before the game started, mate.
Oh, 100%. Again, for me, I said it to Fox earlier. It was a tale of two halves almost again. Didn't really do a lot in the first half, but second half looked better. Red card changed the game. I don't know about you, but I thought the first half, I thought Raskin's positioning was a bit weird, obviously in that fullback because of the inverted fullbacks. But second half, you can see he was more influential and getting forward more, and he had two great chances as well to score.
Aye, he had moments. He got better as the game went on. His distribution wasn't great, if I'm honest, mate. Over the piece, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think a lot really distribution wise got it spot on tonight, if I'm being honest. I think, as I said, the passes weren't hit with purpose. They were neat touches inside and outside, with the foot trying to get players where they were rather than knowing they're there.
Aye, but if you watch Raskin's run, mate, for their second goal, mate, I don't know if you noticed it in live time, mate. It's a magnificent run and showing that energy so early in the season. And even in Lap of Honour, he's pointing out young Curtis, he should be here, he should be there. He's a leader, Nico Raskin, yeah. I didn't think he had a great first half, but not everybody can be good every minute of every game, mate. And over the pace, he done all right. I thought if we take the three new boys in isolation, I thought Rothwell was the best of the three, mate. Over the pace, the centre half grew into the game and get better after that error. I didn't think Aaron's did a good game, mate, if I'm honest. But we'll part that. I don't know what your thoughts on the three of them were before we open the phone lines.
Pretty much the same, mate. Aaron's did look uncomfortable, especially receiving the ball in the middle of the park and that inverted role. Whether that's down to being on the left side coming in, I don't know. Time will tell, as you say. Giga looked okay, had that wobble, and then grew into it. Had a snapshot from distance, which was never troubling the goalkeeper. But I thought Rothwell just kept it neat and tidy, quite organised.
Aye.
Simple.
Aye. Do your job, cover. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Right, we'll get the phone lines open, mate, yeah?
Yeah, good to hear the punters.
Aye, let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yes, delighted with the result. Delighted with the improvement, Robert. And the players will be better for that. Players get minutes. The substitutes that come on, the fitness levels are hard to judge because we played against 10 men for that period there. And we pushed them back. We showed the energy. Diamande grew into the game. Was they fantastic? The inverted fullbacks. That could be what we're going to use at different games, go in and out and give teams something to worry about, yeah. Obviously, we hope the boy Aaron's kicked on. The centre half, the Jana, what I will say is, even though I thought he was shaky, he's not that experience, but I thought he grew into the game a bit after that moment. And then he did show, there was one in the second half, he showed his burst of pace, came back. He got to the ball, no problem, passed it back to Butland. I was quite pleased with his turn of pace there, mate. So look at the pace, mate. Delighted. We will improve, and obviously the tie's not done, but we're in a good position.
Absolutely. As you say, snap your hand off at 2-0 before a ball's kicked. But as you say, it's the first competitive game for these players as a team. So it's a good benchmark to look at. Yes, there'll be areas that you can improve on. You always will do. And there's points that I'm sure Russell Martin will take away from tonight that we can improve on for the tie next week. They've showed they can be dangerous. Obviously, they've gone down to 10 men. They just sat back and accepted the defeat in a way. But going forward, you could see that they had a bit of threat about them. So it's certainly not over, but we're in a good position.
Okay. I'm putting you in the spot, mate. Who was your man of the match?
You know, I was thinking about it, and I don't actually know, but given it was moments that in the game, I'm going to say Butland just for his saves and when they were at crucial times, and then obviously right before we get the opener, that was a key moment as well. But I think it was. I don't think anybody was overly good to get a standout, if that makes sense.
But he kept a clean sheet. There was only one thing that Butland done that disappointed me, and that's when Suter headed it and cleared it. Good header for John Suter. When that was 2 yards for the goal, mate, and he was still on his line. I don't get it. I don't get it. The boy Gassama, when he came on, mate, and scored that goal, he looks as if he's got a bit of pace and a bit of idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it'd be all right if we could hear from Gassama. Yeah, would you be happy with that?
I'd be delighted to hear from the boy.
Yep. Get yourself a mute and let's hear from our second goal scorer.
Jeji, well done. What a way to introduce yourself at Ibrox. How was that for you?
Yeah, very massive, and I'm very, very, very happy to play my first minute in Ibrox, and great fun, great stadium. Well, the stadium is massive, and sorry, I speak French. Sorry, what's a beginning for me and for the club as well.
Talk to me about the goal. What was that moment like for you?
Yeah, but you know, before I come on, the gaffer say stay wide, and when you have the ball, go 1v1 and do your thing when you do before. So I come when I receive the ball and I go inside, I see the keeper and I shoot, and that's it. Yeah.
And your celebration, you looked like you enjoyed that.
Yeah. Yeah, because I see Finn scored a good goal as well, and he slide good, and I want to do the same. So.
It didn't work out the same.
Yeah.
For you, these first few weeks or first week with the team, how has it been for you on the training pitch?
Yeah, it's very nice. We have a good team, and my teammate is a good guy for me, and they help me for everything. And I think now I'm ready to play every game, and I'm ready to help the club as well.
For the team, a good result tonight now, and ahead of another big game next week as well.
Yeah, it's good. Big win for us, and we have another important game against Panathinaikos. We have to do the same we do today, so I think you'll be alright.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
He seemed a cheery guy when he signed, mate. I don't think he's going to stop him. He's quite a character. I love myself.
Of course, mate. No, that's pleasing to hear that already, just with a game tonight and a goal and that experience, that he wants to now play every game. He wants to help progress himself and help the team. He just wants to play football. It's just a young boy wanting to come and play, which enthusiasm, attitude. We mentioned it in the first part of the show that Finlay Curtis had showed attitude, and if this boy's got the same kind of attitude, and he's got a bit of pace, a flair, trickery, I think he's going to be an exciting player for his Ox.
Aye. I would sum that up tonight as good, bad, and ugly, mate. There was some good, particularly, you know, in the goal, the second goal. Obviously, Finlay Curtis's goal was a magic moment, but the second goal was an excellent move, mate. Watch it back and you see it back. Watch Nico Raskin's run. Shouldn't be discounted, mate. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, it takes players and it makes a space, and obviously the boy does what he does, and he takes all the credit. But Nico's run, you know, the half our team's involved. Excellent goal, mate. Excellent. Really pleased me.
I know it's against 10 men at that point, but I think that epitomises what Russell Martin's style is of breaking the lines, counting them fast, that exciting football, getting forward quickly. I think that goal just kind of epitomises what it is he wants to do. and hopefully we see more of that. You can see the ideas, and certainly the most noticeable thing is the fullbacks becoming inverted. That's a massive change to what we've seen previously. So there is aspects of tonight's game that we can see that they're working on, and there will be teething issues, but as I said earlier, it's a good benchmark to have, and you've come away with a 2-0 victory, so you can't argue with that too much.
Well, domestically, will we play anybody as good as them?
No.
Well, there you go. That's your starter for 10. You know, you take it from there. Clean sheet, mate. Clean sheet. Ultimately, yeah, we rode our luck. Yeah, you're right. The boys should have scored. Yeah, but you didn't, and we kept a clean sheet, mate.
Sometimes in football you need luck, don't you? And I've got to say, obviously, he had a decision to make with Butland or Kelly. Obviously, Kelly had played the tail end of last season, and there was question marks about Butland, but we know what he is capable of. He just had too many errors last season, but he stood up tonight and he made, I think it was 4 saves, 2 probably outstanding saves that kept us in it at 0-0. So again, he's stood up where it mattered, and hopefully it continues on a consistent basis.
Well, I didn't disagree with you, mate. Man of the match, he had a big moment, kept us in it, changed the game. You know, in the second half, he wasn't our best player. But he got it for his first half performance, you know, we were more offensive. He wasn't involved too much. In the second half, we rode our luck again in the first few minutes. With that error with the Jara, you know, but then we bounced back for that, got the goal. And obviously the sending off. And I think the boy gets sent off might have been their best player, mate.
He certainly did look very attacking. I think there's a lot of speculation about his future as well. A lot of teams are interested in him. He certainly looks quite a promising player for them. And a lot of the things were kind of going down that side to his feet, and he was coming inside and drifting out wide as well. Certainly seemed that they were looking to use him as much as possible. There was also a couple of battles between the boy in front of him, Pelisteri and Curtis, so you could see that when we were attacking that side, they were going back defensively, which would have allowed him to overlap and get forward. But he's made a dive, which I'm sure would have got a 10 in the Olympics, and then he's obviously been suckered in by Curtis's touch inside, drew a foul and get his marching orders, and unfortunately for them, it changed the game, but it worked in our favour. We looked a lot more composed and a bit more free-flowing at that point. Obviously, there's more space, so you can do it.
See the way that game finished out? Bizarrely, I think the 2 managers will be delighted.
I think you're probably right. Obviously, we've got a 2-0 cushion, but I think they would have thought it could have been maybe 3 or 4. But obviously, we're happy that we've come away with a clean sheet as well. So, in the balance, you're probably right. I think they'll both be happy with what it is, but as you always know, it's not over.
Sounds a bit mental, doesn't it?
You're right, aye, it does. Never really get 2 managers happy, but I reckon if you asked the Panathinaikos guy when they get a guy sent off 2-0, he would have took it then.
Aye. Well, come and join us. Give your thoughts. The start of the Russell Martin era. Rangers 2, Panathinaikos 0. You know, I wondered how busy would have been if the result would have been the other way about, mate.
Oh, I could only imagine. There was moments where you thought, especially that first half, Fox, there was wobbles that had it went 1-0 down, what would the reaction been of the fans and the players as well. So thankfully it didn't, but it would have been interesting to see how it did.
The crowd were excellent tonight, mate. Excellent.
They were patient. You could hear some kind of groans in the crowds when we were passing it backwards, but you could sense a lot more patience about how we were approaching the game. And then obviously we get the goal and the fans react to that. And then obviously the red card, the fans react again. So that pushes the players on an extra 10%. I've always kind of thought that as we always say, the 12th man, but that 10% energy they give you just pushes that extra couple of yards forward.
There's a small thing. You know, I was delighted that Barjami was desperate to go on it. Yeah.
That was a bizarre situation. That was bizarre with socks. Did you see that?
I don't know. I wonder what the rule is. Somebody will have changed some directive or some rule, mate. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
you'll be allowed 2 splits in your socks in certain areas. Yeah, I don't get the old split in the socks. I bet you do it at 5-a-sides, yeah.
No, I'm retired from 5-a-sides, mate. I've not got the energy anymore. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't cut a good pair of socks. Christmas is too far away. But no, it was good to see you, right? He was keen to get on. He was eager.
Aye.
And even at the end as well, they were all laughing, enjoying themselves, carrying on, interacting. There's a good feel factor about the place and the players there. So again, you've got a result and they can go away happy with that, and that adds help to it.
Yeah, but see when the game settled down, and for us it never settled down to maybe the second half, and we started playing the ball, and then we started moving it wide, and people were moving. I still thought we lacked width at times, and another thing that disappointed me about Aaron was trying to cross it when he was out on the left, even with his right foot when he had time. His crossing was like, you know, he's got to up his game. It's Rangers he's playing with, but we'll give him a benefit of the doubt. But the intensity of the play, Rothwell going and trying getting it and just moving it, and the movement, there was a lot to do. There was a lot to like in the second half, mate. Were you pleased with the intensity?
I was. Again, as I said, there was periods where we had to be patient, and you could see that they were trying to draw them out. But when we lost the ball, there was the intensity to try and win it back quickly. You had 2 or 3 players at times going for the one ball against their man, trying to get it back, hitting the counter. And I think that's all we want to see, Ox, is a bit of grit, determination, and intensity in the play, and not that lacklustre that we were seeing a lot of last season. So again, it's early days. It's the first competitive game. It's the benchmark to go on. The players will get fitter. The players will get better chemistry, and that'll only be in a good stead. And we can obviously see where we are and where it takes us. But from what we can see, there's been improvements certainly in the 4 weeks the squad's been together.
Listen, everybody involved tonight will be fitter for that game, mate. And obviously we'll get another friendly on Saturday. And I would imagine that some of them will only get 30 minutes if they're lucky. Some might not play, you know. Other players will get minutes. You know, but let's get behind this Russell Martin here. It's a friendly. We'll go away and let's see what we can do against them. A decent miserable side. Yeah, I know they're no top drawer, but it'll be a decent standard, and that'll be a good test. And whereas other players will get minutes, there'll be more understanding. I can't imagine like Raskin's going to play for 75 minutes, mate. I think, you know, half an hour maybe at the end, if that, mate, depending. And then you'll not have to look and see who's got knocks and strains after the night.
You will. I think there's a reason that game's on at the weekend in between these 2 ties. And it is just for minutes in the legs for those who are maybe on the bench tonight or not involved, just to get a chance and get minutes to work them rather than the ones that have played tonight. So it makes a bit of sense if you look at it in that sense.
Yep. I'll cut across you, mate. We've been joined with our good friend Diamande. Evening, Diamande.
Evening, lads. How are you?
Evening, pal. How are you doing?
Well, good. Just like a night out with you, mate. Good, bad and ugly.
Aye, that's about it, aye. I was 2-0 out, I took that at the start, without a shadow of a doubt.
Aye. Delighted with the result, Diamande. Delighted.
Aye. Didn't see it coming at half time, must have it. It was a terrible first half, to be honest. But you know what, 2-0 for next week. It's not the effort, isn't it?
Aye, they got the you know, you wouldn't have seen 2-0. You're right, I mean, we're up the tunnel at half time. We were okay for the first 10 minutes, and then for the next half an hour, we were pretty poor, mate, if we're honest.
Couple of belter goals. Really good, 2 good, really good goals. Just opened up there.
Yeah, Diamande, we're going to drop you and bring you back
okay,
in. Your signal and your isn't the best. We'll bring you back. We're going to hear the manager, but we'll try and bring you back in because you're breaking up, bro.
Okay.
All right, cheers, mate. Right, Robert, get yourself a mute. We're going to have the manager.
Russell, one of those special evenings at Ibrox, and you must be so proud of your players and how they grew into the game in the end.
Yeah, I'm really proud of the players, the staff, the crowd. They were amazing. We had a few sticky moments which I tried to warn beforehand we might, because the team is so new and so young, and trying so hard to do the things we're asking them to do, and I'm really proud of the players for that. So we started the game really well, and then a few tricky moments, and everyone stuck together, which we're going to need. So we needed a couple of big moments from Jack tonight, which hopefully we won't always. Well, we won't. We need to make sure of that. And the big man delivered when he had to, and then we had a few big moments ourselves, and I'm really delighted because the lads worked so hard, ran so hard, but first half just a bit of tension, and I think that's to be expected when they're being asked to do a lot of new things. Such a big occasion, some of them the first time playing at Ibrox full up, so for that group of players to come through that will be huge, and yeah, so I'm really grateful to the supporters and the intensity they came with the game and the support they showed. It was amazing.
Yeah, is that the most pleasing part? There was obviously some difficult moments in the first half, but the players they didn't go into their shell in the second half, did they?
And I think it's all we asked for at half time, just take a bit more care of the ball, move it a bit quicker, to trust the work they were doing. Too many players received the ball in areas they shouldn't, and haven't done in training or in pre-season, but of course it's different, it's so different, and we're playing against a really, really good team who have been together a while, good coach, good players, so it's never easy, but the fact the group came through that with the supporters right behind them will be amazing for us moving forward.
Yeah, two huge individual moments as well from Finlay and Jeje. I mean, those are the individual moments that you need at this club, isn't it?
Yeah, and we spoke about Finlay before the game, having the character, we believe, the mentality to play for this club, and he had a difficult first half. He's a young man, supports the club, so it's not easy, and he was fantastic in his reaction, in his attention to detail in the second half, so I'm really delighted for him, and Gas hopefully showed people why we were so keen to sign him, and he's a real specialist in that area, so once he gets up to speed, he's not fully fit yet at all, he's not close to that, but when he does, he's going to be a real threat for us.
Yeah, it must be a positive that the squad are able to produce results such as this, knowing that there is still a long way to go in terms of improvement.
Yeah, I think we have so far to go, so this really is just the start. After 4 weeks, they're doing some great stuff, what we're asking them to do, their willingness to try it and do it is incredible, so they're a brilliant group to work with, but in terms of cohesion, understanding, relationships, togetherness, all of that will build, and that takes time, but nights like tonight will help.
How do you view the second leg now in Athens, and what will be a completely different environment?
Yeah, it's tough as tonight, so the job is half done, so we have to make sure we improve, and we will. We need to be better in 8 days' time, and I'm confident with the work we'll put in that we will. So the same intensity, the same diligence, the same work that we put in for this game, and we have to be better.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Very honest there for Russell Martin, mate. Yeah.
Very honest, mate. Can't argue with that. Very much a fair assessment. Particularly the analysis of the first half tension. It's probably the best word for it. I think he's spot on with his kind of analysis of the game there. And he knows himself it's not over. But yeah, can't argue with that at all, mate. It's pretty fair. It's one thing I've noticed in his interviews. He's very fair, open, and clear. He speaks very well.
Listen, we're on a roll. We've played 1-1-1. Yeah, decent result. No getting carried away, but hopefully maybe for some people it'll cut a bit of slack. Full house tonight. The support have done their bit. Yeah. So let's go on this job. Keep the positivity burning, mate.
Absolutely. It's, as I said, you can see at the end of the game the players were enjoying themselves, and they'll only get a lift from tonight. They'll know themselves there was periods in the game where it was tough and they had to dig in and defend and get a bit of luck at times, but ultimately they've came away with a result. Finlay Curtis has got a goal. Gassima's got a goal, so they'll take an extra lift in that as well. But overall, the whole team should be pleased to coming away with a result, because, as we know, it's not always an easy task. A Champions League qualifier in Panathinaikos certainly gave us some concerns, but no, we should certainly go over there confident. Will be a tricky tie. Obviously, away in Greece, the temperature is one factor, never mind the game itself.
Aye, you're right, mate. So obviously, July, Greece.
I think it's a 10 o'clock kick-off their time over there, because of the temperature. So
8
it's certainly a late one.
8 o'clock for us.
Aye.
It'll still be. I would imagine it'll still be mid-20s, mate. By that time of night, you're there, no?
Aye, and again, that's where fitness comes in it as well. And obviously, they were doing it at St George's Park during the heat wave down there, so hopefully they've got some good preparation under the heat. But you've still got to go and play the game, and play the opponents in front of you, and put the tie to bed.
It was a beautiful evening in Ibrox tonight, wasn't it? Not.
Aye, the sunshine was splitting the skies. Lovely July weather.
Yes, of course, mate. It's the fair.
Oh, you're talking about it last night. I don't remember a game this early in my lifetime. Very early.
This early. I'm going to check, mate. The Shelbourne game, I remember being quite early back in the day under when Advocate became the manager. You know, I think we've been joined by Ross. Evening, Ross.
How you doing, brother?
All right, mate. What's on your mind?
What do you think of the night?
A mixed bag, mate. Delighted with the result. Wasn't too pleased with the performance at half time. Didn't think we'd win 2-0. We did. I'll take that all day long, mate.
I thought first half were absolutely brutal. I thought first half was a dire. But second half, we've done to a year, man.
We grew into it again, mate, and scored 2 good goals, mate, yeah?
Aye, what do the rest of the boys think?
Robert?
Evening, Ross. Again, I said it earlier, for me it was a game of two halves, which is something we became accustomed to. First half, as you said, was a bit of a watch, slack passes, caught in possession a few times. But second half, we grew into it. Obviously, a big moment where Butland makes a save, and then we got the park and score. And again, another big moment is the boy Giga gets caught in the edge of the box, recovers, and then Curtis gets the guy sucked in with a foul, and that's the red card. So that changed the game. So Ox has said that it was a game of moments, but for me, it's a game of two halves, which, as I said, it's a benchmark to go on. There's improvements there to be made. You can see that, but you can also see the ideas and the philosophy and the style we're trying to put across. So, a 2-0 victory, a clean sheet. You can't argue with that too much, pal.
Can I just say my pal Ashley's listening to me tonight? I just want to say, all right, Ashley, how's it going?
No bother, mate. Aye. What was the good bits for you, Ross, and what was the bad bits?
I thought obviously the first half was really good. Obviously, the second half was good. Just the way we played up the night.
The intensity and passing the ball, yeah.
Aye, just passing the ball, and it needs to get faster. Although it's starting just to walk the ball into the net. We can't do that.
And we need to get the ball. We obviously we will get better, mate. We will get better. But it's the start of a journey, and hopefully we'll get better, mate. But some positive shoots in it. Not getting carried away, mate. It wasn't perfect by any manner of means. There was a lot of individual errors. But I would have took 2-0 before the game.
Aye, I know. I was hoping for you, but there we go. I'm not going to be I'm not being greedy. You know what I mean?
We had our chances. Obviously, Nico had a couple when the goalie got injured. Kieran Dowell had his chance. Diamande had a chance. The one that Tab put across the box. Dessers, maybe if he'd have just read it right, You know, so we had opportunities to get the third, never took them. You know, with Neil. I mean, even Nico's, they weren't the real sitters, Robert, were they? But it was a decent block by the goalie.
No, they weren't sitters. He's hit the both shots with power. Showed composure to get the shots away as well. I just think that's something that's lacked in his game. Had it been maybe somebody else a bit more clinical or prolific, he would have been in the back of the net. But you could see his ambitions to score and get forward. So pleasing in that sense. And he grew into the game. Obviously, second half, first half, he was in positions that I didn't quite understand where he was receiving the ball and trying to control the game from where he was. But a lot more influential second half. But no, goals will come with Raskin. You can see he's got the ability to go forward, and he just needs that end product.
All I want to say is bluebells are blue, no surrender.
Cheers, mate. Speak to you soon, mate, and we'll give Ashley a shout out with me, Robert. Cheers, mate. Give Ashley a shout out, Robert, yeah?
Hello, Ashley, if you're listening.
Yeah, Ross enjoyed it. I don't know if it was Ashley or Ashley, if you know what I mean, yeah?
Same person. Okay, same person.
I think that sums it up. I mean, fair play to Ross. You know, everybody watching it, the first half wasn't great. We started okay, I accept that. You know, first up to that moment, but we've been down the left. There was an easy pass for Nico to John Curtis. Doesn't make the pass, hangs onto the ball. They break away. He fills them, and then we have the free kick, which was a nightmare. And there was so many errors, and you're right, the boy should have scored. So many people no switch, no and Tav, and then even when the boy gets the shot, Athens he's in dreamland, mate. So that was a big moment when he put that past the post. But I'm glad the way we responded in the second half, mate. Yeah, and obviously the second half helps.
Oh, of course, and we needed something in the second half. You'd see we needed a wee bit of a lift, and again a break of luck, and we got it. At times maybe rode our luck, maybe once too often than we usually do. But as you said, the attitude to come back in the second half and change it, and you've got to credit the manager as well, sticking to the philosophy, the style he wants to do, and making the decisions, and it's paid off ultimately. Big call to play Curtis, kept him on at half time, gets his goal. So again, that's a decision that the manager's got to take. So you've got to give him credit where it's due.
Yes, I think we've been joined with Diamande. Evening, Diamande. You back in?
I'm back in. Sorry about that. I was driving, so it kept cutting out, I think, because I was in the motor.
No, you were doing your, what was the comedian? I can't remember his name. Norman Collier. You were doing your Norman Collier, mate.
It was chaos coming out trying to get through that tunnel. Something must have happened, so you sat there for 20 odd minutes.
So what's your take on it, Diamande? I mean, as I said to you before you trapped you, good, bad and ugly. Delighted with the result, yeah?
Aye, absolutely. I'd like a third goal, just to, I think that would have guaranteed the tie, but definitely would have took 2-0 at start of the game. But aye.
Put your finger on the positives, mate.
Clean sheet, couple of great saves with Butland, kept us in it. Curtis scoring, the new boys scoring. So aye, onwards and upwards, we've got to play for. Get through this next week, and there's a good chance to get into the playoff. But I suppose one game at a time, just get her on it again on Saturday, then focused on, is it Wednesday next week, is it? Wednesday?
Aye, Wednesday, and we'll be fitter for next week, mate, yeah?
Aye. Another game under the belt during at the weekend, so aye. Hopefully they'll start gelling a wee bit more. But the big boy defence looked quite good, didn't he? He was quite rapid.
Aye, I mean, obviously made a couple of errors, mate, with distribution. Got caught with that one in the second half, and we had our heart in our mouth. After that, I think he done okay, mate.
Aye. It's just about needing a big.
Sorry, did I catch you? You're talking about the boy scored the second goal. I was talking about centre half. Sorry.
Aye, no, centre half. That's what I was talking about. Centre half.
Aye. He made that error, and then he responded all right to making the error, mate. Yeah.
Aye, he recovered. So he's got a bit of pace about him, which is good, and a bit of physique about him, which we need for the Scottish game. But all in all, pleased for the 2-0.
What I like, Diamande, is obviously we never got the third. We had our moments, and we never got it. We Robert were talking about. I'll bring Robert in. But you would have seen it in the game. We were pushing up. It was like a drill defence against attack. All right, we know they did 10 men, but we were pushing up and being positive, and that's what we face a lot in Scotland. So we scored 2 goals and they dealt with an opportunity. Raskin had 2 for the same move. Diamande could have done better. The Buffy Tav, we could have got the third, maybe even arguably a fourth at times. So considering we're a new team, we're work in progress, players are going to come in, we're going to get better. We've got to be pleased, Robert, and then I'll bring back Diamande.
You're right, mate. Certainly when they went down to 10 men, obviously you knew they were going to sit in deep and it would be down to us to break them down. And there was chances within that we showed we can break down that low block, which is what you're going to get 9 out of 10 times at Ibrox, if not 10 out of 10 times. So pleasing that we could create some chances from them. Again, just need the finishing touches, but that will come. That will come over time, obviously, as Diamande says. A bit of time to get more team chemistry on the park. It's all right doing it in training and in pre-season, as we know, in these bounce games, but until you do it competitively, that's when you really do it. There was elements tonight in the first half that kind of lacked that chemistry, but second half certainly a lot better. And then obviously breaking them down, cutting through the lines with the chances that you've mentioned there. The Iggy-Man header was another one. It looked like he kind of went to the back of his neck, head and shoulder. But again, it's another chance where it's a low block.
Did he score that if he's fit, mate, Iggy-Man?
Could he score with his foot?
If he's fit?
If he's fit. No, I don't think he would. I don't think he believed he was going to score from that angle. There's a chance.
Aye, it was a chance, mate. I forgot about that one as well. Aye. Listen, Diamande, now that I've brought it back, we should have got third.
Aye, it was a bit of chance. I think they did actually. It was damage limitation for them a minute. As soon as they went down to 10, they decided just to try short the shop and salvage what they had. Hold on to the 1-0 and no lose anymore. But I think it was a wasted opportunity, but I happy too. Definitely, it could be enough for us. Should be enough for us. We could score there. We can score away in Europe. We've always done it in the last couple of seasons. We've went to teams. So what temperatures you were saying? You think mid-20s? You think it'll be hotter than that? 10 o'clock at night earlier?
Aye, this time of the year, aye, mate. Aye, I think you get that there in the border, don't you? Yeah, I've not looked at the temperature. Have a look, mate, and see what it is. See what it is just now, mate. Yeah.
Aye.
Just out of curiosity, How you fancy it?
Oh no, too soon. But I was some banner, wasn't it? Some banner at the start.
Oh, it was a cheeky one, wasn't it?
Was that Helena Troy? No.
No, Elgin Marbles. I thought it was, mate. Oh, aimed it. Yeah.
Right.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought personally. Don't know what you had, how you took it. It was a cracking banner, but I think it was currently 29 degrees in Athens. There you go.
That's like feeling down.
Aye. I was there a couple of years ago, mate. Great city, by the way. Fabulous city.
I've never been.
Aye. Oh, there. Yeah. But aye, it's warm, mate. It's warm. But listen, what did you just judge the manager then? Judge the manager, good and bad. What you thought? Was he brave? Did he get anything wrong? Just in your opinion, Diamande, then Robert.
I'm just so glad that he got a 2-0 win, because it could have been so different tonight. if they'd got the goals, and the pressure would have been on them. As I said, I was not impressed at all in the first half. I just thought we were just passing along that back line, the usual stuff, and there was no real any penetration, moving the ball up, and it just seemed that they were a bit nervous. But I say, can't argue, a 2-0 win. So I don't have any criticism for them, and hopefully it gets us through around next week, and the team starts gelling and gets better and better.
Robert?
I think the only thing that, taking away from tonight, I'd be a bit wary of going forward is the use of the inverted fullbacks. Obviously, Athens didn't have a great game. Tav, likes to go forward.
He was stinking, mate.
To put it nicely, I just think against a better opposition, I mean, it might set up differently, but if you take it if you go with the same as tonight, bigger teams are in Europe and more adapt to counter-attack or whatever in their pace, they could exploit that quite a bit. So it'll be interesting to see if he maintains that going forward, or if that was just for a tactic for tonight. It's the only thing I'd be wary of. Everything else I can't really fault. He's obviously picked the players based on fitness, deserve to play, they've done stuff in pre-season. So you've got to trust the manager on what he sees and what he selects, and I guess you can't argue when you've come away with 2-0 victories, Diamande says. So clean sheet, 2 goals, a young boy and a new signing scoring. It's almost the perfect start, isn't it? So as I say, there will be errors and areas to improve on, but that's football, they're always going to be there.
Aye, we'll be better for that. Athens will be better for that. He'll improve, and obviously he's taking one for the team. He's playing the other side of the pitch. I get that. I'm only critiquing his performance tonight. I didn't think he had a great game. He got caught, and he looked somebody that's not played a lot of football. And if you look in the last year, he hasn't. So he'll be better for that as well. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm only critiquing what I've seen tonight. I'm not wanting to throw the boy under the bus, don't matter, but I'm just critiquing his game tonight.
Aye, yeah. Number 6, I thought he played well.
Rothwell, yeah. Just nice and simple, mate. Makes people, yeah.
Aye, I thought he was, as much as right fitted, he kept putting everything there to the left, whereas I was thinking, switch it to your right. But they ended up showing that their right hand side up, because I think we were getting joyed on that side. But number 6, he done well. Held on to the ball well, distributed it well. So a good addition by the looks of it.
Aye, listen, mate, I think it takes a while before you make an opinion on players. We're only talking about tonight, but he done okay. Young Aaron's didn't do okay, but if you look, he didn't play a lot of games last season, so we'll watch and see where it goes, and we'll see if he gets faster and pacier as he gets up to match fitness. But in the centre half, yes, he got caught with the ball a couple of times, so I think we all agree with that. But he grew into the match, and he showed a turn of pace that no many people in Scotland that we play against are going to get away from. Don't matter, okay?
Aye, he's rapid. For standing still, you know what I mean? He's that mistake in the recovery. That's what we need. And the big guy's solid, isn't he? He's some height, so I think he'll be another good addition as well. So all in all, a positive night. Just what Robert's saying about the inverted wing backs, I got my personal left foot, you know what I mean? It's just we're putting in all the time, cutting into the right. I don't like that. I'm meant to get the ball out and a right foot hits it with his right foot, a left foot hits it with his left foot. You know what I mean? But that's why I'm cleaning close, you know what I mean? He's a manager. So there we go. Not that clean close, but I'm just saying.
Aye, I get it, mate. I'm all right with that. If we do different things and we use them wide, we do that. We give teams things to worry about, maybe even change it in a game. I'm all right with that, because if you set up all the other teams, you know what they'll do in Scotland, they'll just set their whole team up to stop you. So you need the other strings to your bow. So watch this space. Do I think it worked tonight? No, it frustrated me, but I'm all right with it, because ultimately we won the game 2-0. Robert?
Exactly, mate. It's hard to obviously, you can, as you say, you criticise or critique what you see, but it's hard to kind of be anything negative when you have got a 2-0 victory. But you can only assess what you see, and what we've saw from Athens tonight, he didn't look comfortable, certainly in the middle of the park. I mean, as Diamande said, he kept trying to get it to his right foot, and they knew that. So as soon as he was under pressure, he had his back to, he's facing their own goal, losing the ball in the middle of the park, which exposed us at times. I don't think the passes to him helped at times as well. I said earlier that it didn't seem very purposeful. The passes, there was no weight in them. So I don't think they helped him much as well. But as I said, he'll take experience from this, as will the rest of the players that played tonight. They'll all take experience in a different way and format, and bounce back or get better or get the nerves out the way. As we know, it's a lot of the team's first game, especially at Ibrox with a packed house and the occasion as well. So there's experience to be taken, and you can only develop from here on in. Whether you're Curtis or Tavernier or Giga, Rothwell, they're all coming better instead.
And it's, I think somebody said on the TV tonight that it was Dowell's European debut. I've need to check that out. Yeah, I thought he was invisible in the first half. Yeah, never influenced in the first moment he had either. He tried to pick somebody out in the back post and then had his chance to be a hero and make it 3, Diamande.
He's not a right winger, is he? Well, let's be honest.
No.
I think he's a midfielder, to tell you the truth. But he's not. I don't see him as a guy out in the wing. He's no pace. He was just ineffective in the first half. Even the second half, he was just a waste of jersey, to be honest. And hopefully somebody does take him.
Well, if somebody's coming in for him, you see, well, he's part of our team. So, so it gives you a wee bit of negotiating. Even though ultimately some players might leave, that I think there's players to come and players to go, But if they're better than what we've got, it improves the team and the squad. I'm delighted, mate. Yeah.
I think he's a decent player, but I just don't think it's working for us with him in the team. I just don't think it's as a club would suit him. I think he is better off back down in England. Where was it? Birmingham? Was it Birmingham had him on loan?
Aye, so Division 1, that might be his level, mate. It's a big step up.
Aye.
All right, so Mr. Fox has asked me to ask you your marks out of 10. He really trusts you, Diamande. So give us your marks out of 10 for the game.
Well, I can only get a 7. Positive it was that we got the goal up before they went down to 10 men. So we've got to beat near them. 11-11. But I'm really happy that we've got the 2-0 clean sheet. And a couple of good performances off some of the boys, especially Butland. So it's all there for us. We can get through this tie next week.
Yep. Last word, your marks out of 10, Robert.
I agree with Diamande, a 7. A good starting block, but room for improvement. But 2-0 victory, happy with that.
Result 8.5 out of 10 for me. Performance 6.
Yeah. Can't argue with that either. 2-0.
Listen, last word quickly, Diamande, and then back to Robert to finish up.
Just a shout out for Tracy.
How is she?
She had some bad news, didn't she?
Don't know, mate. I don't know.
Aye.
But if she did, all the best to Tracy, yeah?
Yep.
All right.
And I wish you a good night, lads. Thanks for having us.
All right, mate. All right. Send my regards. Last word to Robert.
Cheers for having me, mate. Good to be back on the show yourself. Off to a good start. New season, new era. 2-0 tonight. Let's hope it continues into next week.
Yeah. Thanks to Ross, Diamande, and of course Robert for doing the show. Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals and saving my bacon at the start of the show. Thanks to everybody for listening. Thanks to the support tonight, Ibrox, and thanks to our team for starting off the Russell Martin era with a 2-0 victory. Rangers Radio will be back tomorrow night, talking about all things Rangers. There might be just Dream Team. Take it away, Old School Blue.